everybody. Gonna give it a second. What's good, my lovelies? Lovely soul Empress here. Happy 11/11 portal day. Okay, so we're gonna have a conversation. I'm just lighting some incense. So how has your portal day been thus far? Mary, baby, you know what it is. What's good? What's good, Tamila? Copenhagen. So first off, I want to send a couple of birthday shout outs. One to my bestie Priscilla and another one to Tamila's son. Happy birthday, babes. Okay, so yeah, let's start with that. What's good, Rose? All right, so you took a half a day, right? I always celebrate my children's birthday. It's also a day for me to celebrate too, But I was gonna say, it's not just that it's the 11/11 portal, but remember that it's 222 for 2022, right? Which is, basically like a portal in itself, right? And when you add it all together, you get the number 10. So, for me, this is completion of a cycle, although it may not necessarily feel like that just yet. Okay. And, with the completion of a cycle begins a new one. Okay. So we're going to check all of that out. I don't know, how you feeling, the energy today. It's been a little dreary where I am. It's been raining all day. And I feel like it's symbolic of things being washed away. Okay, so, not sure. We're going to take a look. Okay. We're going to take a look. All right, so let's start with the sea. All right, this is a water season. I just said it's been raining all day. I felt like putting some music on. They probably gonna hit me for it, but that's the vibe today. It is what it is. Anything for you. So a lot of you can have somebody on your mind right now. It's not really a sad energy. Do for love anything, but you don't give up. So a lot of you haven't lost your hope. I really like to channel with music, but YouTube, they be killing them. Bitch, don't kill my vibe, right? Spirit. What's going on today? What's the energy? Pause. May moments of calm sustain you. And there is kind of like a reflexive type energy. What's good, Tammy? Like this philosophical. Okay, you also got allow, may you soften into what is. This is reminding me of like looking back on the energy and looking forward at the same time, like calibrating, looking at the journey and also starting to look ahead. We're going to take a look. I want to let the messages come through the way they want. Beauty. May you perceive nature's artistry afresh. And I do feel that, in the sense of, like I said, it's not sadness, right? It's like and I put, completion, but like the culmination of so many events, the good and the bad, of what I'm feeling. Compassion. May you tend to the suffering. And some of this suffering is external. You could have seen somebody's energy shift. They could be going through a lot. There could be a lot of people around you like that. But I felt like this suffering was, this feels like when you recognize that you've accomplished some things, but you also in that recognize that there's a sadness of something either lost, not accomplished, or something that you've just recently accepted. I think this getting in the way of what I'm feeling is not someone external. This is an internal battle. It's like wanting to be happy about one thing, or wanting to embrace a certain type of frequency and feeling a pull. Forgive, may you let it be. Right? And this feels more like something, again, like internal. Right? So for instance, I'm going to give you guys one. Let's say that someone external did something to you that hurt your heart. And you've struggled, whether you're with this person or not, on forgiving them for a particular action. This is going to get deep. I feel it. And what you recognize in some type of completion aspect is that the reason why you carry this grief, this pain, is because the person you were struggling to forgive was yourself. Maybe for dealing with something that now you wish you hadn't. Right? Or it's like as an adult, just give you a quick example. If you went back and judged your 14-year-old self, right? And no matter, when you're that age, you may have a purity and a light, but you don't have the wisdom, right? You can't judge yourself. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't take accountability for decisions that you've made, but you can't judge yourself by the knowledge you have now on past events. Because when you were in that period of your life, you were doing the best you could at that time, right? So when you know better, you do better, right? So I also feel like this is talking about, like, when sometimes we're more compassionate to others than we are to ourselves, is what I'm trying to get at. Right? And maybe it was hard to forgive something of somebody's because you actually in some way, maybe you played a part, but I think it's not that. It's like it feels like in some way you had to be less. What's good through Maddie's eyes? Right? So I'm trying to find the right way. it may feel like you betrayed yourself in some way. So it's better to keep be angry with them, okay? Okay, you've got love at the bottom of the deck. What's good, Jennifer LaRoe? What's good, Miss Lotus Wisdom? You got, may you dive deep into your passions, right? So I feel like this is, you know, and you may be diving deep into a new chapter, and yet you feel this pang, right? Maybe you've recently let go of something that you carried with you for a long time, but you realize that there's this residual thing and it has to do with something internal, right? That's what it's feeling like to me. Right? Lightness, right? And I told you the last reading that we did, I was saying about there was going to be, things were going to be lightening up as we get closer and closer to March, right? And as we do that, instinctively, we're shedding at the same time. It's not possible to, it's like where we're going, a lot of the shit that we you know, clung to, or that was festering is a better word, that it can't come with us. Okay, so we're gonna take some Isis wisdom. Spirit, can you show me? Spirit, what messages do you have for the collective on this portal day? On this day of completion? Ah, yeah, Leah Lou. So we have ancient power mysteries, hearing the rattle of Isis play, right? And I feel like that's the new, yes, the new beginnings, right? I was just about to say ancient power mysteries, hearing the rattle of Isis playing, right? And this is like us kind of feeling the new beginning is right there, just like right out of reach, right? It's there. We can smell it, we can feel it, we can taste it. Big changes, right? Divine sisterhood, community of spiritual sisters and brothers of the light. And, you know, we have been feeling pulled towards, you know, enlightenment, growth, bettering ourselves, right? This been going on for a while, right? I feel like soul tribes are going to start to strengthen, come together. Tastes like watermelon juicy. Hey. Temple of Lapis Lazuli, goddess of the ancient skies. You know, there's like I'm feeling like a feminine intercession. Like a feminine energy is doing some healing. Healing is the energy I'm getting. Healing. What's good, L Cubed? right? With the divine guardian, protection of the winged mother. You see, like I was saying, I'm feeling a feminine, right? And it said to Temple of Lapis Lazuli, goddess of the ancient skies, and the divine guardian, protection of the winged mother. I feel like, I'm feeling that washing away that I was saying, right? The washing away. It's like, when you were young, very young, and, like you would get sick or whatever, and your mom would come and like bathe you, right? And bundle you up and tuck you in. We may be doing that in some way to ourselves, right? Right? The healing of the inner child, right? This understanding of an inner pain that we've permitted, because it doesn't feel like we took part. It feels like we permitted something because maybe we didn't want to lose something. And that makes sense. Okay. So because right now there's this strong, what's good, Pink? Right now there's this strong influence with the North Node and Uranus sitting in Taurus, and then the South Node sitting in Scorpio, and then it's Scorpio season, and we're just coming off the full moon eclipse that was Taurus's, and we've been talking about it. What are you valuing? What are you willing to let go? It feels like now that you're taking on the risk of not holding on to a particular outcome in something that's important to you, like it's risking it at all, right? Nothing even matters anymore, right? Nothing even matters, right? And this is like what you've decided is important now. You won't trade it, but maybe in the past you did fucking trade it. You did trade it because you were afraid, because you were lacking something inside that you thought was outside, and it represented this person in the past. But now it feels like you're risking something, but because you're betting on yourself, but it's making you remember the last time you didn't. High Priestess, mysteries revealed in the eyes of Isis. And this is like the mirror. And now I'm hearing, over this, truth is. You got Temple of Carnelian entering the fierce belly of Sekhmet. So it's like this boo-boo, this old boo-boo. It's like, it's starting to heal now. Yes. It feels like it's starting to heal now. So in other words, while you were not healing it and you were, still holding this shit against this person who probably did some fuck ass shit, right? It feels like while you were holding that space for that anger towards them, you couldn't heal the part about you. So now it feels that now that you've released that need to hold that grudge, Sekhmet is like a warrior, right? So it feels like with this new chapter, it's like you can feel this big thing coming. You can feel that this thing, this I don't know, it's like a residual. You can feel that it can't come, right? It can't come. So it's like now the mending, it's like now you're tending to it. Now you're patching it. Now it's starting to itch. Like you ever cut yourself by accident And then when it starts to heal, it starts to itch. You want to like almost pick at the scab because that bitch itches. Right? You're getting the itching now. I don't give a fuck when it happened. You're getting the itching now. Okay? So, let's see with the Lord Ganesh. Yes, the truth. Yep. Spirit, show me. So something feels good and something feels melancholy. And they're holding space in different parts of you. Yes, please. Do like and share, guys. Ganesha opens blockages. Yes, she does. And I don't know if this really feels like a blockage. This feels more like unpacking something. Unpacking something that we realize we've been dragging with us. That has been slowing us down. It never stopped us. It just slowed us down, Spirit is saying. Right? Yeah. So you got drive here in reverse. That's what it was doing. It was pulling on your drive. Right? It was pulling on your drive. Our inability, yeah. And maybe, you know, like the inability to stand in ourselves is like when you trade something. When you trade something for fear. So let's say in the past, you dealt with, I don't know, physical abuse, emotional abuse. I mean, you know, pick whatever, right? Infidelity, whatever. And then you stayed in some way, or it's like you stayed in some way. So then later, when maybe in a completely different area or same area, right? You're not willing to trade it this time. Like, it makes you recognize that. Like, oh, I've grown, right? But by recognizing it, you're also acknowledging that you did that, right? So you have protection here in reverse. It made you feel naked as fuck. That's what it did. It made you feel naked. And you may feel a little naked now, right? This completion, this new beginning, this realization that some of your strength comes from dark places or from wounds that even we have to be grateful for those wounds that we acquired, right? Yeah, I'm naked without filters, right? Because, and I say this often, like even the terrible things that have happened in my life, they still shape me, okay? They still, you know, generosity, right? Yes. And when you have, you know, I'm looking at the generosity, right? And then I was saying, you know, about loving other people and, you know, putting other things ahead of ourselves, trading things that were important to us so that we didn't feel loss or whatever, right? And like this generosity of letting go of something, an anger or, you know, a grudge, right, towards somebody. right? But it's also freeing you, right? But it's also like emblematic of growth because not every experience that we have, not only through our own choices but through the universe, right? When we talk about all the astrological effects that we go through, like the Saturn thing, whatever, right? We could be resentful, right? Like, and then when you're young, there is a large part of that. Like, why does this things happen to me? Or why is this always happening to me? And I've always told you guys, if you're not using those moments to see what triggers are uncovered, you're missing, part of the assignment, right? But once you get to that understanding, it's also like being generous with your spirit guides, your ancestors, the divine, the universe. That understanding that we should also be grateful for the pain that we've gone through because it has, made us what we are. Right? But then in addition to that, it's like knowing that they're doing it for our best. It becomes a more loving, because it feels like you're allowing love to attune, to vibrate, to permeate you, right? But by doing that, we don't own love. So this means that we risk losing things. And we accept that ability that we may lose something along the journey. But gaining the self-love enough to not fear that all is well, that all is as it should be, that this is a very trusting in oneself. This is growth. Anything else from this deck, Spirit? Last shuffle. Thank you, Spirit. Steadfastness. This is a momentum that's going to come in. This is like the commitment to oneself. Commitment to the journey. Commitment to the growth. Commitment to allow love to be like the guide, right? And it may not just be romantic love. It's familial love. It's self-love. It's agape. It feels very agape. Okay, so let's get some tarot. Do I want to use this one? Yes. Spirit, show me. What does the collective need to know on this portal completion day? You're seeing yourself through new eyes. They're more loving eyes. Spirit, show me. So the Queen of Wands comes out in reverse. And I feel like this is the realization we've had about the past, about what we allowed, right? And it says brilliant, talented, independent, controlling. There is nothing you can't do. Believe in yourself. Never underestimate your ability to make your dreams come true. The need for balance between career and personal life, right? And with the Queen of Wands being here in reverse, representing like what? what we've encountered or endured in the past is really making me feel like a lot of yous in the past didn't think you could do something alone or couldn't be alone, okay? More driven, yeah. Right? In the past, you might have felt like somebody took your fire or that they took your youth. This is also not seeing oneself. Not seeing oneself in the right, like through the eyes of like not shining, right? It's like insecure. Or maybe you're recognizing like, wow, I would have never made those decisions I made younger. Like that was coming from a place of insecurity, of not healing. You got the High Priestess. Meditate and turn inward to discover your soul's true desire. This is not the time for action. Develop your intuition and your intuitive gifts and trust the wisdom you receive, right? And I was telling you, like, we feel the beginning there. We feel the vibration of it, like, rolling in. But it hasn't exactly hit, right? So in this stillness, we're still kind of reflexing, releasing, right? We have the Ten of Earth here, right? Financial security for yourself and your family, inheritance or retirement, peace and contentment in life, honoring family traditions, pride in the family tree, passing on knowledge, right? This is what you want. This is maybe what you were trying to achieve. You also have here the Ace of Swords, your some type of personal truth, and the conflict that surrounded it. I'm going to clarify these. I'm just drawing out what Spirit wants us to look at. Anything else, Spirit? The Two of Cups, the Five of Pentacles, feeling left out of love, the Chariot, anything else? Last shuffle, Spirit. Thank you. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Wands. Okay, so we are, like I said, looking back to look forward, right? So let's get a deck to clarify these. And you know, this could be, you know, this particular song is talking about somebody that was extremely important, right? This feels like somebody that it felt very harmonious. But something went off the rails. Okay, so we're gonna look at this Queen of Wands in reverse. Spirit, why is that? With the Two of Wands. Because of the decision. So remember when I was saying in the beginning that there was some kind of situation that had happened and somebody betrayed us or did something to us that was very painful. And maybe because at that point we were not ready to accept something or not ready to release something. Whatever we were not prepared to do, the decision that we made is different than what we would make now. And I was saying, like, we shouldn't judge ourselves by where we were in the past, okay? That's like putting yourself in a new prison, okay? You have the Three of Cups out here. For a lot of yous, these were third-party situations. For some of yous, you felt like you couldn't be happy without this person's situation or whatever it was. Six of Cups, so you took it back or you held on to it. Okay, this could be from your childhood, teenage years. It could be anything. It could be in your own family. Right? So I'll give an example. This may actually be the case for someone out there. Let's say that as a child you were molested and you have to, as a child, you know, was a family member, right? So the family member is still in the family, you know, and you maybe felt like you had to compromise your, you know, be silent for the sake of the family. So that is like betraying yourself to keep the peace for other people, right? Strange. Sorry, guys. So you had to keep your peace, right? And then it turns around, like now something happens to you in the present where you recognize in this day that you will not be silent about something that's happening to you in regards to something that may not even be in the same thing, but it's reminding you of that. Okay, so I'm just trying to like give you different perspectives of what spirit is saying to me. So you got the High Priestess here, Spirit. Why is this High Priestess here in the position of the blockage, right? Because maybe something about your silence, right? Or what do they say? It's like those who choose nothing to do nothing are part of the problem. I don't know the saying, right? So you may be reflexively looking at it like that. Meditate and turn inward to discover your soul's true desire. This is not the time for action. Develop your intuitive gifts and trust the wisdom you receive. And I feel like there is some wisdom. You're looking at I feel like you're looking at the wisdom that you have now. Okay, and the Two of Cups. And what we do for love. You find anything, but you won't give up. Right? So this is like when you put yourself out there for love in some way, familial love, romantic love, whatever the case it may be, right? Yeah, Six of Pentacles, right? And you gave more to get little, or for some of you, it felt like this person took what was yours and gave it to someone else, or made you share your portion, whatever that may mean to you. You see how this Page of Cups has a fishbone only in there, like you got the scraps, and that may be the perception. The moon and the internal feeling, that's what it felt like. And you might have known that it wasn't really that in your cognitive brain, but it doesn't mean that emotionally it didn't feel that way. Right? So you got the Ten of Pentacles here. Spirit, why is this Ten of Pentacles here? So sacrifices for family. So the Ten of Pentacles is here with the Three of Swords. So this is like what I said, like, some type of abuse, right? So let's say you were in a bad marriage, but you stayed for the kids, or you suffered some type of abuse as a child, but you had to, be quiet for the family, or had you said something, it would have broke up the family, right? The Nine of Cups. And you wanted the family, you wanted the group, the unit, the wholeness. You felt like you needed it. And it's because the Hierophant, because it felt like it was what was right. You also didn't want to be judged. You already felt like you lost. Like, why should you also be judged for something someone was doing to you? I feel that. With the Page of Swords. And you just blocked it off, and you didn't think about that deception anymore. But it left you somehow in a weird space with the Ace of Cups, of like a distorted way of love, with the Magician not being able to manifest it without the burdens, because something about the situation made you feel like love had a hurt. All right, you got the Ace of Swords out here. Brilliant ideas that may need refinement. Overcoming obstacles with faith that everything will work out. Communicate clearly and concisely. Remain objective, right? And remember, I was saying like there was something here about you knowing that you wouldn't trade the same thing twice, or that you wouldn't, that the wisdom that you have now is different, and that regardless of whatever comes your way, that there's an inner knowing that you're gonna be okay now. Like, you don't feel that whole, like, but if something happens, then I'll be alone. Like, it's different now. Knight of Cups. And the Magician, right? So, for me, the Knight of Cups, and I've said this, is more like a Casanova type energy. I feel like the Knight of Wands doesn't fake jacks. Like, you know what it is. Like, their frequency lets you know what it is, right? You know that they're going to be in and out, and right? But with the with the Knight of Cups, it's a little more elusive. It's a little more like, I just like to have fun. Let's go out and party. But it can make you feel like it's real, but then you realize that it's for everyone, that they would give that to anyone, right? Right? So I feel like what you're discovering here with this Magician, because the Magician came out with the Knight of Cups, is that now you don't feel the same energy to want to possess it. Like, you're at the level where you're like, I can just enjoy a good time with somebody and recognize, or not even feel betrayed, because I'm not expecting this person to complete me or to validate me. That's a whole other thing. Maybe we'll get into that later, because I had a download about that. But I'm not looking for this person to validate me, or if I'm with them, or if it's serious, or if it's not serious, or is this my soulmate? Like, all of that shit, you realize now that that's like a rabbit hole that that put you in this compromising situation because it made you feel like something outside of you was more important than what you internally felt, right? 10 of Wands, and you've been carrying that, and I think, men or women, right? But more so women, right? There's this thing like, oh, you're single, you're still single, or oh, you don't have kids, or oh, whatever, right? So it's like this Cinderella fucking hate Barbie, right? Because this like makes people, feminines have like have all these preconceived, unrealistic notions about what they should be feeling, what they should be encountering, the experiences they should be having, and they're not really based in like what is really happening, right? And I feel like this is part of why women get hurt, right? Not to say that the people that we encounter, right, aren't responsible, but it's also that we've been programmed with like this delusion of Cinderella and shit, and that somebody's gonna come along and make you complete, right? So when they do something wrong to you, rather than you realizing that this person has some things with them that cause them to be that way and that you can't fix them, nor should you necessarily want to. But I don't know. It's like Spirit is saying that instead of us recognizing that we felt compelled to try to fix something, because then it reflects like, see, I am worthy, I am good enough, this person will do it for me, right? But then if they're not doing it for you, then conversely, then you're bad because they won't do that, so you're not enough. So it's all about what you are or what you lack through not having this person. So you would have been judging yourself according to their like judging yourself according to a spot being filled next to you. That's why this Queen of Wands is in reverse. Okay? And I feel like this is the bag lady, right? Putting that shit down, right? Chariot. Like, I want to move faster. I'm tired of this pace, right? Five of Wands. Spirit, why is this Five of Wands here? So there's something here about recognizing, the full acknowledgement that as above, so below. That yes, you had these conflicts or these experiences with these people, places, and things. Yes, they brought fucking conflict into your life. Right? But it also means that in there, that was an opportunity for you to see like, hey, I need to work on the fact that, fear of losing X, Y, and Z, fear of speaking my truth, fear of whatever, was being challenged there, made you recoil from taking your power in the past. Feels like now you've got a shift of mindset. Now this is coming out here with the Ace of Wands. I feel like the shift of mindset is the Ace of Wands. Like now the passion or the conflict, you've recognized that it wasn't as bad or as hard as you thought. That now, you can acknowledge that there's conflict or that there was conflict within you as well, right? And yet you can still continue. You can still have the drive. Remember, you had the drive in reverse. You can still work towards something that you want. The two things can be true. Yes, there's a new beginning. And yes, you can look back and say, wow, look how much you've grown and look how far you've come. Like you won't quit now. Whereas before, it feels like you recoiled in some way from taking a leap of faith in whatever area. That's the Five of Wands, and the Ace of Wands is the Six of Wands. I feel like you know instinctively your odds are way fucking better this time, no matter what it comes out to, because your willingness to like choose yourself, go against the grain, you know, fuck it, 2 tears in the bucket, you know. If I lose it, I didn't lose everything. Or if I speak it and people don't like it, I don't validate myself through what these people, family, friend, lover, or whoever the fuck else, like I know my worth now. All right, so you got the Two of Cups out here, Spirit. I feel like that you're learning this about yourself. You may be actually very surprised, okay? With the Two of Cups, you have the Six of Wands and the Ten of Cups. Like, you feel this is giving you new hope for like healthy love, or like the possibility of love, or like that you're still open to love, whether you're in this relationship yet, but it's strong. Two of Cups, Six of Wands, and the Ten of Cups. That's like happy ending shit, right? So this is like, you feeling that. Like, even if it hasn't hit yet, like, this is new, like, new hope. New, right? The Queen of Cups, like, so putting down that or recognizing that somehow feeling insecure left you like you allowed something because you were afraid of something. But it feels like now you recognize that in forgiving that or letting that go, you also get to free yourself. You also get to have like the Queen of Cups energy, like be able to be vulnerable to love, be vulnerable to the idea, to be open, admitting to yourself that you want that. Strength card, and not feeling like it's a weakness, and not have to come from a place of weakness. Like I can be in love and still stand in my power. I could believe in love and not feel like I have to be less to be, for someone else to be more. Or that if I don't keep silent, or if I, like this is like reclaiming your time. I reclaim my time, right? Five of Pentacles, Spirit, why? Right? Five of Pentacles with the King of Wands crossed. The King of Wands crossed. Feels like he takes action, male or female, right? For the things that inspire him, maybe. But he's not, consistent. He decides when he wants to put his effort. It's not altruistic. It's not for, that's the best term. It's not altruistic. It's not for the whole. It's like, I do it when I want to do it, if I want to do it. Four of Cups. Lukewarm. It's lukewarm. Let me get one more for that. So you felt left out of the cold in a relationship, whether this is a parental relationship, whether this is a romantic relationship. This is feeling like not really wanted or not really cherished in whatever relationship. Okay? With the Fool at the bottom of the deck, this is like you wanting to prove to the world your like value or something. or going it out there to create something that you felt that you lacked, but while you were doing it from the mental place of I lack something, or I have to prove my value, or I have to prove my worth, or I have to, you know, say it loud, right? It was leaving the gaping hole or the wound. Because the whole time, whether you were mad at somebody else or not, it was this feeling of, damn, I let myself down by not like speaking my truth, or by compromising. It's like looking back, right? But under the Fool card, the reason why you can recognize that, it's like, this is like the energy of all my life I had to fight. I had to get out there. I left home early. Like I went after, I had something to fucking prove, right? With the death and transformation, now you don't have to prove it to anybody, right? Like, you understand it. You understand why. You understand that you were just a child, or you were just young. You were just naive. You were just full of love. You were just hurt. Four Swords. You needed to heal. Right? Let's look at this Chariot. Spirit, why is this Chariot here? One more. So this is the Chariot. This is you forging your new life now. This is like the Chariot of destiny, and you can feel that it's coming in, right? And you see yourself now as the Queen of Pentacles, right? Self-reliant, independent, abundant, entrepreneurial spirit. Let's see what it says on the I was gonna read it off the other card, but it's not out here. But I feel like you see yourself different. Like, you got different eyes now. Like, this is more competent. This is more willing to know your worth, right? And then you see the rabbit in the corner. It's like, this is giving you some type of fertility, of like new fertile ground to cover within yourself that had maybe been like stifled or dormant, right? With the World, like, you can leave that chapter behind, but you also are stepping out in a new frequency, like claiming your space, reclaiming your time. Like, it's all of that, right? Like, I am love. Like, remember I was saying the vibration of love is like coursing through you. It's vibrating, it's emanating. And it may not be from some loving someone else. This could even be going on while you're releasing a relationship, right? But it doesn't come with the same pain that it was before, because you're not her or him from then. You're different now. You see it different. Like, the love you have for yourself outweighs the love that you may have for someone else. So it makes it easier to let go, right? And you may not be letting go of somebody. You may be just stating, you know, I was saying something about somebody not speaking their truth at a point. Can we equal out the likes, please? And then now you know, this is like gambling on yourself. Like, hey, love you to death, but I'm not willing to compromise the growth that I've had in myself. And I hope that we can come to an agreement. But this is what I don't want to trade to be in this relationship. I will not compromise, you know, my self-respect or my voice or my power, or whatever it may be in your particular situation. It's like you're owning your space, like, for real, with love, not with aggressiveness, with vulnerability. Okay, so you have the 8 of Pentacles here, Spirit. Why? it's softening. It's you allowing yourself to soften, like strength, right? What is the saying? Speak softly and walk with a big stick. Like, you get it now. Like, you are the stick. Like, you are the stick. Like, I don't have to walk around beating my chest and yelling and screaming, because my energy, my power speaks both in love and in intention and in strength, and it is divine. Right? So you have the Eight of Pentacles here with the Seven of Pentacles, right? And this is, you've put so much work into yourself that with the Seven of Pentacles, you've learned the lessons of the past. Like, oh, if I have Seven Pentacles, I gotta wait for the other three, no matter how long it takes, because I need the seven and I need this person to put the other three, and that's how, I'll be whole, right? No, this is more like, okay, I've been at this party before. This is my garden. I planted these Seven Pentacles, right? Some of them have grown and some of them are not. And I'm not willing to sit around and lose time. So I'm going to rip these few seeds out that haven't grown, and I'm going to plant some fresh shit, because I know that I did it before and I can do it again. Page of Wands. And I might make some fucking mistakes. And maybe I took some action, prematurely, right? Because the Page of Wands is like, not always well thought out. You're like, so what if I get some shit wrong? If the plant dies, I'll plant a new plant. Okay, it's like you're not as scared. All right, why is this Three of Wands? What's at the bottom here? The Moon, right? So you're also being very true to your emotions. I really like that. Okay? You're welcome, babe. What is this Three of Wands about? With the Eight of Wands. So you got the Three of Wands here, right? This is future thinking. This is you on your path. This is you just walking into your future. Like, remember I said you had to be lighter. You just shouldn't have a fucking bag with her or nothing. Okay, she just came in on a floating chariot. She don't got a bag or nothing. Right? And here you are, like, hey, I'm stepping into this. I'm not afraid anymore. Look, planning for the long term, abundance from past choices, pride and success of your labors. Be patient as you decide what's next, right? Open to the fucking possibilities, right? Eight of Wands. I can take risks and communicate my true passions, right? And I will openly, say what it is that I desire, and openly hear what others are telling me they have to offer. Because part of the problem in the past is that we didn't want to hear the answer, that we didn't want to hear. This is how we ended up compromising ourselves, right? So you're over here like, and I can fucking hear now. Like, now I listen well and I understand that something may not be available to me there. And rather than waiting for the other Three Pentacles, right? I could just take my happy ass on and go, plant new seeds, right? And, they can either choose with the Lovers, right? It's always a choice, the Lovers. They will either choose it or they don't. But I'll always be, I'll be okay. I still have spirit. It doesn't make me less. I'm still in my wholeness. I'm still in my power. It doesn't compromise me. It doesn't validate me or invalidate me. Right? And I'm still walking with the Ace of Cups. Isn't it funny how this came back at the bottom of the deck for like the third time? With the Hangman, this is like, I got a new attitude, new perspective, right? King of Swords. I also feel like as above, so below. There's going to be somebody who is a little taken back. Like that was a little honest. I wasn't prepared. Strength. There goes the Empress with the lion. Right? But it was a different kind of strength. Look who's there. Sorry, charger. But it's a different kind of strength, right? It's the strength with the Queen of Cups, right? So like I said before about being okay to be vulnerable, like speaking your piece in a loving way and being open to the fallout of that, like it's okay. Like it's okay. I don't own this love just like you don't own me. And you know, this, whatever this may be, maybe this part doesn't work for me or whatever the case may be, but you can say it now. And even if there's fear, you're trusting. Look how big, you know, we was talking about where, I don't know if I'm going to find it right now, but the Page of Cups and his small ass little cup, right? And you having to like, you know, getting the little cup with the fish, right? And I had showed it to you guys, right? But look at how big your fucking cup is right now, right? Because it's an acknowledgement of like something within you is different. Like they're not taking from your cup. That you have this sovereignty. Sovereignty, I'm hearing. Okay, so let's get a kipper. This feels, you know, like I said, I told you from the beginning, it felt like two emotions were holding the same space. It's like pride in where you are now. And like a little reflective about where you've been. Spirit, show me, what else do they need to know? Adjudication. Mature man. Thank you for this. Today is my 1-year anniversary of your channel. I'm going live and I've been hiding from the camera. I needed to hear this. Yes, do that. Bet on yourself. Be confident. Next card is out is Great Fortune. Spirit, anything else? Anything else from this deck? Last shuffle, Spirit. Thank you. The bad health. So Spirit said that with this bad health card at the bottom of the deck, sudden wealth is underneath that. I feel like Spirit's like, you know, you're gonna go through ebbs and flows because the two emotions were holding like similar space, right? So understand that those, like you might go through, I told you it was raining, it feels a little gloomy today. You might go through ebbs and flows of different emotion, but Spirit is basically saying like, let them pass through you, but don't hold on to them because like the blessings are right there. They're like right there. So this is just about letting it go through you, like run through your chakras so that it's helping you to release, shed, washing away the completion, right? So just allow it to pour out, allow it to come out of your fingertips, allow it to be free. All right, let's get a deck to clarify these. Adjudication, Spirit. Feeling that Empress energy, judge, adjudication, right? So So you got adjudication with acceptance, right? So the things in the past, they've already been decided. They already happened, and you can accept them, and you accept the decisions you made, and you understand why you made them then, although you won't make them now. And there's an acceptance of not only the past, but the acceptance of like oneself, right? What's good, Nelson? Mature man. Why? So this mature man out here, this is going to be a headbanger, and I'm getting a couple different messages, right? So this person, you know, if you've matured, right, this could be like from mad long ago, and you have a different viewpoint than you did when you were experiencing this for the first time, right? I feel like if you can understand now that who you were then is not who you are now, or that part of why, and not to you know, to say that they don't have culpability, right? But you holding on to them was just holding on to what they did to you was just a way to not have to look at something that you allowed in addition. Spirit is saying that that person, do you now see, or will you now see that just how you betrayed yourself, this person betrayed themselves too. That the reason why they couldn't show up for you in the way that you needed them to be is because they were not happy within themselves, because they had betrayed themselves in some way, because they didn't have a belief, because they were lacking, because they, you understand? And so they didn't trust themselves, right? And there were some warning signs, weren't there? There were gaping signs, right? And yet you wanted to trust them. You wanted to believe them. You wanted to have faith. You wanted to feel safe. You wanted that because you didn't want to feel alone. Right? And so once it didn't work, and once the full acceptance of everything that went down, you shifted it to blame because it was better than regret. Great fortune. And this person could have did the same fucking thing. Right? They could have did the same thing. Because rather than to say, like, I hurt this person, I did something to them because I wasn't all the way right, because I didn't think I was shit, because I felt whatever, right? It's coming out with friendship crossed, right? So in other words, because of something that they wanted in that moment or whatever, something that they took from you or something that they did to you, they traded that. The great fortune of a true friend, somebody who was really loved them. And the reason why they did that was because they didn't know what really a friendship was, or what it was to have somebody, because they didn't even have themselves, let alone feel like they had somebody fucking else. So in essence, they had the same lack you did, just maybe in another area, right? And, you know, it wasn't funny then, but, you know, if you look back now, like, you know, the lens, right? Like sometimes we can't see outside of ourselves, right? And it may still have some pain, and it you know, but it's like, you know, isn't it ironic, right? So you have your happiness here. Yeah. I feel like this is, and I said this in the other reading the other night, happiness is a state of mind and not so much a feeling, right? I feel like you're recognize that, right? I am aware that being happy means that I am on the right path, right? So it doesn't matter where you're going, right? That you know that that you're good no matter what, as long as you walking with spirit, right? You got balance. Like, this is you getting to the internal balance, right? Having empathy for yourself is also allowing you to have empathy for others. It's also allowing you to not going to say that you're going to call this person up and be like, hey, but I feel like you understand a little bit more of the whole situation, how maybe, the fact that you were so, wow, this is crazy. But Spirit just said the fact that you were so trusting and loving when somebody that felt like they weren't enough, right? Or that they didn't know what trust is, or they never had that, like they almost looked at it like naively, right? Like envious, like who does this person think they are to think I'm gonna be a good person, or like this is a self-sabotage, right? So now you're starting to understand that this person kind of was like jealous of something without maybe even noticing that that was what was wrong, and it probably didn't even come across like that at the time, right? But it was something about your purity. Hurt people, right? So they were kind of repelling real connection, repelling, right? Repelling the abundance, right? But now you understand it. Like, you recognize that the validation wasn't, you were searching for validation too. They were trying to give you validation, no. Thank you, Spirit. They were trying to get validation from you too. Like, if I hurt this person, they'll leave me because I'll deserve that and I'll be proving that I ain't shit. A lot of these people out here hurting fucking people, they want somebody to say, no, you're good, even though no matter what they do. And that shit is narcissistic. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that that's healthy, but think, it's like fucked up. If they're fucked up, that's how they're thinking, right? So you're thinking the whole time when you're on the receiving end of this shit, like what's wrong with me that this person will do that? But you don't understand that what they're trying to prove to themselves, they're trying to sabotage themselves. It's like the self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, if I do this, then I'll get to see, does this person really love me? And that's fucked up. It's fucked up, but they were also fucked up. You feel me? So even though you got hurt so much in a situation, even that you recognized, right, that you allowed something to yourself because you lacked something, what you don't maybe recognize is that this person saw you as the healthy one. Enough that they were trying to like get you to prove to them that they were worthy enough for you to put up with all the sick shit that was happening because they needed to be validated, if that makes sense. I'm trying to get it to you because it's a very complicated subject. Spirit, show me. Got trust in reverse. See, this person didn't trust themselves enough, right? And you didn't know maybe how to trust, or you trusted the wrong people, maybe because of a past situation that showed you to trust the wrong people, or that's the way it was, right? And then this could be the one that's here. So this is how you used to think, like, oh, okay, well, maybe they, seven pentacles is better than no pentacles. I'll deal with this shit, right? I'll actually deal with this shit because this could be the one, right? Right? Calling in your soulmate now, though, is different, ain't it? Right? Now you're not trying to, figure out how much you can put up with or deal with or whatever to have that. Like, you're not trying to sort through. You're willing for your soulmate to come to you. You're not chasing, right? Anything else? Last shuffle, Spirit. Yep. Nose is itching. What deck am I going to use for that? I put some of my decks away because I had so much shit out here. Let's use this one. Okay. Spirit. For you too long. Thank you. But look, you guys know that I be on some other shit. I do. I be on some other shit, because I feel like we get caught up with the wrong thing, y'all. Like we do. Okay, why is love yourself first here in reverse? Right? This was who you were, right? And you had to learn how to trust yourself, right? And that's the very same, see how it's as above, so below? Like you didn't love yourself in the way you wanted, right? And then they didn't believe they were worthy. So when you trusted them, they wanted to prove to you, or they wanted you to prove to them their validation because they couldn't love themselves. So it was just the same opposite side of the coin. You feel me? Now the trust card is here in reverse, right? Receiving, right? And neither one of yous got shit out of the deal, right? But fucking pain. They got the confirmation that everything that had been said to them and all the pain that they felt, that they also caused, right? Right? So neither one of y'all were winning. And you might have felt like this person stole something from you. Meanwhile, your perception, no matter how the fuck it looked, your perception was that this person was winning and they felt like they didn't win either. Whether they, wouldn't admit that to you or not, right? But you're reframing how you see shit because the wisdom, the maturity, the self-love in you is starting to understand. My light just went out. All right, this could be the one. And when I was saying the thing about this could be the one was like, I should put up with this because this could be the one. I'm not seeing it, but my intuition says, I should just deal with this shit, right? Go with the flow, right? Maybe they'll turn out, like that's the whole, waiting for the potential, the potentiality, right? Now you got calling in your soulmate, which is a different thing. This is not you, trying to hold on to something, chasing after something. This is you sitting down and understanding that if it's meant to be, it'll come to me, right? Calling in your soulmate, right? Awakening, fucking right. Right? And this is perfect because you see the intuition. The intuition is like your third eye, right? But what was she feeling the intuition with? Her heart. Right? So, no, my intuition says this person's going to be better. Right? But everything that they showed you, all the red flags, right? Finances and career. Unique velvet cake for this. I don't even know what I want. I feel like I'm going to go get some food after this. I was supposed to go on TikTok, but I don't know. I feel like this reading was so deep. I feel like I need to pour into myself. So we have a finances and career here. Extraordinary. There's a wild and impetuous uniqueness to you that deserves to be honored. And this cracking open, understanding of, you know, how you really see yourself is giving you like a push in more than one area. Okay? Hey, cheerfully sweet. You know, so I feel like there's something here about you, whatever you're healing, whatever area you're taking on and looking at is actually giving you energy in other areas, okay? Although you might not recognize this shit just yet, right? Because there's this whole like understanding or looking at yourself and like, man, I feel that new beginning's right there, and I'm starting to feel good. I'm starting to get pumped the fuck up, but I also understand the journey in a different way now. I understand now. I understand how I made some of those mistakes. I understand that some of those mistakes actually helped me be who I am now. It's like so. It's very expansive. Okay, so you got chemistry out here. Surrender and limitless. Fuck yeah. What? Whitworth. You better stop playing with me. All right, so surrender. Sometimes learning to surrender can feel as if you're dying. The ego learns what's hardest: to stop trying to control the whole universe, right? It's a shedding, it's a releasing, it's being washed away, right? Right? Look at her arms. Look how she's just like, yes, spirit, I give it to you. Exactly, expansion. All my hairs are up. Like, I feel free. I feel free. I understand now. Right? I'm limitless. Oh my goodness. I'm limitless. And the possibilities are limitless. See yourself open to receive in the most miraculous ways. The divine can use anything and anyone. And what if all of those experiences were just for this moment, so that you could understand that you are like a sovereign and divine being, and that you can achieve anything you can imagine within your soul, as long as you're true to yourself. Gotta be true to yourself. Because whenever we go in a different way, that's how we end up off the path, right? With the worth. Whenever we're not true to ourselves, we forget who we are. You have been worthy to belong to love all along, without any need to improve. In fact, you are love itself. Didn't I say letting love course through us? Guys, that's fucking great. All right, let's get a goddess. All you gotta do is say yes. And look at that. She said, all you got to do is say yes. Let me undress you, baby. And that's like the universe talking to us. Like, all you got to do is like surrender it to us. Let me undress you, baby. Remember I said the mother's coming to give you like a bath to like take it away, right? Let me undress you, baby. Let me wash you. Let me pour it out from... Yo, it's like such an amazing, vulnerable, cared for energy. Queen of Hearts. And, you know, the Queen of Cups, I told you, it's like learning your strength, but in your power, right? So let's read these real quick before we get up out of here. I don't want to kill you guys this Friday night. Okay. So we have here Amalthea. Your soul is learning about love, whether you fully realize it or not. You are breaking free from a pattern of relationship that has not been respectful enough of you and your heart. This includes the relationships you have had with yourself, with others, be they friends, romantic connections, colleagues, or strangers, and even the universe. Didn't I say that? Right? As you allow yourself to feel worthy and release feelings of hate, shame, guilt, or judgment towards yourself, a new spirit of gentleness, love, and devotion will fill your heart and transform the quality of your connections with the others and the universe. Didn't I say we were becoming more vulnerable with ourselves? A beautiful new world of love is opening up to you. Okay, so that was the first message, and the second one is the Queen of Hearts, number 32. Your heart has been chosen by the divine to be a temple for spiritual light, an inner place where grace and healing can dwell. This is very special. A temple is kept clean and pure, scented with sacred perfumes of incense, made beautiful with our feelings of reverence and love for the spirit, kept uncluttered and spacious so that as much spiritual presence as possible can enter. When spirit enters and fills the temple of the heart, things of extraordinary beauty take place. Even the apparently impossible becomes possible. Clear your heart temple with forgiveness, gratitude, and love for the spirit so it can fulfill its divine destiny of being a sacred channel for beautiful divine grace, right? And I had been saying that we were permitting this to be washed away, right? And like knowing that even if things come and go, that we will plant new seeds, that there will be new blessings, that there will be more than what we could have imagined in the past. That it was only the frequency that we had this wound that kind of kept us from not only healing, but like it kept us from being vulnerable. Okay? It kept us from being vulnerable. All right? So that's what I have for you guys. I really love this message. Okay, I know that it might have felt like Portal Day, like it's very low. But it really felt like there's a mending happening. I'm still feeling it right now. There's a mending happening, okay? The scab's gonna fall off, babes. All right? So that's what I have for you guys. I just want to say thank you to my returning subscribers for coming through and spending a little time with me. And if you're a new viewer and you felt I resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and comment, as I'd love to have you as part of the Lovely Soul family. And I'm wishing you all light and love and blessings and blessings. And please remember, always be yourself, okay? Because authenticity is divine, okay? Bye, guys. Bye.